Walter's got the fabric stash. Quilter flying colors splash. Pins and patches, stories grow. Stitching secrets we all know. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses lined so neat. Friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses lined so neat. Friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Our Stitch by stitch they weave the tale. A patchwork life where laughs prevail. Patterns clash, but who can tell? Quilted chaos suits us well. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around.
Hello, everybody. We are alive, sort of. Walter's giggling because we had a little bit too much to drink last night. We sat out and on the patio and had dinner and everything, and yeah, time went by very fast because I think we came in at 11:30, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Which is way past my bedtime. And yeah, we started with Caesars, and then we had beer, and then we had wine. And
Yeah.
yeah, and so I have a little bit of a headache today, so I am not having anything to drink.
And I am actually having a beer
Yeah,
because I don't feel so bad.
I don't I think I'm dehydrated too for that matter. But I haven't done that in quite some time.
No, we don't usually drink that much.
No, like I have my 2 glasses of wine and I'm usually done. Not 2 bottles. But anyways, we're here, so yeah. Okay, so let's see who's all here with us. I just turn this down so I don't get feedback.
We're no spring chickens anymore.
No, that's for sure. It's quite apparent we are not spring chickens anymore. But anyways, I didn't get up that early either this morning. I could have laid in longer than I did, and I thought, no, I'm wasting the day. I've got things to do.
Probably from going in and out.
Well, probably.
Hopefully we don't have any other things.
I've been scanning the house looking. I heard a weird noise this morning though, but I think it was from outside. We've got campers in the backyard. Well, not in our backyard, but pretty close.
Our backyard backs out onto a forested area, which is owned by the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
And they allow campers in every once in a while, usually on weekends in the summertime. And they usually don't park their tents right behind our house, but they did this time.
Yeah, and of course it's raining here, as I see in the comments here that it's raining in other places too.
Yeah,
and it's coming down pretty good actually, and there's a bit of a wind too with it.
Well, there's a parade in Toronto too that's getting very wet today.
Oh, that's right. It's that time of the year for that, which we don't like and don't talk about parade. But anyways, so let's see who's joining us. So Barb is #1 up here. She says happy Sunday, everyone. And Nina's right close on her heels. Greetings, sewing community. I really enjoyed your guest appearance on Sean of the Guy Who Sews. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's always fun. I like to do it. I've been on Sean's before. Haven't been for, well, actually a couple of months ago I was on, I think, again. But yeah, always have a good time with Sean. I think he has me on the show mainly because I keep talking.
And you're a talker.
Yeah, and what's this?
Yap, yap, yap. You're a big bird.
Yeah. Whatever. Caroline is here. She says happy Sunday to everybody. And Charlotte as well. And Charlotte agrees. Seeing you on with Sean, the Guy Who Sews yesterday morning was great fun. And Dubrovka's here. And she says we are here wishing everyone happy Sunday and beautiful day here today, 24C. Okay, well, that's nice.
It's 21 right now. It actually doesn't feel too bad though.
What?
It's 21 degrees, which is around 70 Fahrenheit.
Well, the rain is keeping the heat down, maybe. Dubrovka says, yes, I agree. Also, Stephen, you're so interesting and fun on Sean's live. Well, thank you for the compliment. Some people just don't do that, do they?
What?
Compliments, not you.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Beverly is here. Hello, Beverly. And Sue Norfleet is here as well. And Elizabeth is here. She says, hi, everyone, on this very wet, rainy day. A good day to sit and sew. She says see, but I think she meant sew. And Mona's here. Mona, we haven't seen you in a bit. 103, she says, in Tucson. Diane's here. Oh, another one. Diana, we haven't seen you for a while either. Glad to see you're here. Charlotte loves the music. And Elizabeth says see again. Maybe she did mean see. I think she means so. Getting his fingers mixed up on the keyboard. I know how that happens because it happens to me all the time. Arta is here as well from San Diego. And Susan is here. Now it's raining where she's located. And Gloria is here. And Karen is here as well. And oops, everything popped up on me. Oh, I see the Nightbot still has something coming up that it shouldn't have coming up because I am not doing Monday morning coffee live this week. That was left over from last week. Let me just correct that and get it off of that coming up all the time. So bear with me for a second. Talk amongst yourselves. There we go. That's all gone. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, and going down below, we've got Colleen is here. Yeah, Charlotte's laughing. Hangover time. Yeah. Mary is here from Virginia. And Faith is here. And the other Karen is here as well from Vancouver, USA. It's about to get very hot and smoky here. Yeah, you guys have some fires going on out in Oregon, don't you? And Grant is here. And Jeannie's here. And Debbie. Laughing at Big Bird. Oh, you're so funny. Yeah. Nice to know you've got a canned audience. Mary is here as well. And Bonnie. And Bronca is here as well. And Grant says, sounds nice. It's 101 here. Fahrenheit. Yeah. That's hot. And Andrea, or Andre, I guess it's Andre, is here as well. Miserable day in St. Catharines. Okay. Yeah, well.
Yeah, I think they had a tornado warning earlier, yeah.
Oh, geez. St. Catharines, for those of you that don't know where it is east of us towards Niagara Falls. West of us towards Niagara Falls. Yeah.
Yes,
East, west, up, down, whatever.
Yeah, it's right pretty close to Niagara Falls.
Yeah. And Shadow Wind is here. And Suzanne. And Melissa's here as well. So, yep. And Elizabeth says, Stephen, it's not me, it's the computer. It's forever changing words around. I asked a friend if she had that problem. She said yes and doesn't understand why.
Yeah, you must have a autocorrect.
Must be an autocorrect on there. Yeah, autocorrect will do that. Sometimes you get some really funny things that you weren't expecting. And CJ Lenton is on here as well. She made a live. Yay! And Jen is here as well. So yeah, lots of people coming in today. So what are we talking about today? Well, we're going to have a guest on shortly as well, joining in the conversation today. I've already told you who the guest is. It's in the title. But we'll come to that. But let's see what I've been working on. Well, same old, because if you were on So Chatty, or saw So Chatty on Friday, you already saw these, but I'll show. Oops, that's the wrong button. What button am I in? Okay, let's go back here. Oh, I had the wrong screens up. That's what I want. Okay, there we go. It's all fixed up. That is the In the Hoop embroidery wall hanging for Halloween. I'm really happy how it turned out, and I'll talk more about it and the intricacies of this kind of thing in your hoop on Tuesday on the Idiot Quilter. This is just a little taste. And of course, I'm working on the portfolios, and they're done in the embroidery machine as well. And I'll talk a little bit more about how I go about doing these. These are going to be Christmas gifts. And then this is a quilt not made by me, put together, assembled by me, but made by Walter. This is, you took a class for this, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Some time ago.
Yeah.
Quite a long time ago.
Quite a long time ago. And I just had the stuff sitting in a box. One thing that was turning me off is I should have chosen, actually, the one thing that I chose was sort of semi-directional, right? These.
Okay, the only way I ever saw your finger.
No, I know.
What do you mean? This one with the rainbowy like?
Yeah, so when you twist the blocks around, I probably should have chosen a pattern that was more not directional, like the ones with the dots on it. And I should have had an extra color in there. So originally when I took the class, I got sick at the end of the class. I ended up, that was just before COVID. And we were hearing about COVID at the time. And then I had got a bad cold just before the COVID stuff hit. And so I decided not to go to the class or whatever to put the thing together. And I was a little discouraged because I didn't like the way it was going together. And also at that time, I just decided I didn't want to go back to the glass.
So these blocks have been sitting up in his sewing
Yeah.
room forever. And
So yeah, but now that I've been playing around with free motion quilting, I thought, well, this would be a good chance for practice quilt. Like it's already, the blocks are already there, so
so he gave me the blocks. I put the blocks together for him, and the pattern didn't call for a border, I don't think, but we
no.
decided to add a border to it. So the flimsy's done, and it's just he has to get it on Lucy and get it quilted someday. Let's hope he gets that done sooner than
Yeah.
finishing this up. And you're still working on my shirt?
Yeah, I haven't done anything with it this week, so I'll do it. I'll get busy on it again.
Yeah, you want to get busy. So that's what we've been up to. I've been working on some other projects that I'm going to talk about tomorrow on Monday Morning Coffee. I've been doing some stuff on the 3D printers. One of them is operating right now. I hope you can't hear it. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. But I've been trying to design some practical prints to organize my thread drawers for all my embroidery threads. I did have a system at one time, but I'm trying to improve upon that system. And I also made, and I'm not going to show it to you today, you'll have to tune in tomorrow for Monday morning, but I made a very elaborate thread stand for my embroidery threads that will hold 13 spools of thread at one time. So yeah, and because I can only do five spools at a time on the spread holder, or the thread spool holder that's on the machine. And I had a bunch of little ones that held like 3 here and there, and they were all over my table, and I thought I wanted to compact it down a little bit more, make it put it all in one place. So I will talk about that tomorrow on Monday Morning Coffee. And let's see. And so past week's videos, if you haven't seen them, we were live. I was live. Walter was asleep on Monday Morning Coffee because it was the last Monday of the month. So that last Monday of every month, I do it live, and we talked about lots of things. So the replay is up. On Idiot Quilter, I was continuing my discussion of Christmas, showed you some more fabrics that I bought, Christmas fabrics. And on let's see, on So Chatty, we went through our drawers and pulled up some stuff we forgot that we had bought that seemed like a good idea at the time, but we never use, and we're questioning why we still are hanging on to them. So that was last week. Okay, so let me just get back to the screen we can see. Come back to this one in a bit. Okay, so anybody new come in? Oh, M's here. Hi, M. Gloria says they had a tornado warning here in Western New York earlier today too.
Yeah, I think it's the same part of the system that was going through St. Catharines.
Yeah, and yeah, just what we need now: tornadoes. Don't we have enough between forest fires, incredible heat, and flooding out west? In Edmonton, I think they're flooding. So yeah, Dubrovka says nice wall hanging. That is a lot of stitches. Beautiful. Yeah, each one of those little blocks take well over 2 hours to stitch out. So yeah, but I love doing those kind of things. I just don't have wall space. I don't have any place to hang it up, so I'm not sure now that it's done what I'm going to do with it. I have it hanging on my design wall right now, which is out of camera shot, but it's just there for now as a placeholder. Let's see. What else? Dubrovka says, Walter, after you put your quilt on Lucy, it will be modern and beautiful. Yeah, it's got a modern look to it.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, even though it hasn't got the 4 colors, it looks fine.
It looks good. Yeah, it looks fine.
I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I kind of noticed that the symmetry is not there, but then not everything has to be symmetrical. And it's just very modern. Asymmetrical. Gloria likes it too. And Randy and Sue are here. Sue says hi. Hi, Sue. Okay. So that's what we've been up to. So what's in the news headlines? Meanwhile, in Canada, well, we're having we only have two major airlines in Canada. Air Canada and WestJet. And both suck, but WestJet sucks even more than Air Canada, which is not saying much. Really, we have flown WestJet
A few
a few years ago, but anyways, their flight attendants are all on strike because they pull the same trick that Air Canada was pulling with their employees, and their employees walked out a year ago, and I think the employees got something they can live with now.
Yeah, I mean, they were last year, a lot of the airlines here, when they go on strike, they sort of rely on the government ordering them back to work.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened in the Air Canada strike last year, but the employees defied that order and continued to strike.
And their strike was justified because they were working for free. Their work day for getting paid started the moment they got onto the plane, or when the plane took off, I think.
I think it was when the plane took off. They started getting paid when the plane took off and when the plane landed, but they weren't paid for the preparation to get as far as I know. I don't know exactly if this is it, but all the stuff that you have to do before you actually fly, they don't get paid for that.
Yeah. And if you're expected to do all this other work, then you should expect to be paid for it too. That I don't know how they've been getting away with that. I guess
there are other airlines in other areas of the world that do the same thing.
Well, this is Canada.
Yeah.
It's not right. So anyways, we'll see what's going to happen. But they walked off today, and there's all kinds of hell because people have had flights booked. They canceled 309 flights, and they interviewed one person at the airport who was supposed to have a direct flight to Costa Rica, and she's only going for a week. And the answer she got from WestJet people was, well, yeah, we expect that we'll be flying, we'll be able to get you on a flight in like 3 or 4 days, like by Wednesday anyways. But she had something like, instead of it being a direct flight, she had like 4 layovers to get to Costa Rica. I mean, it was flying to Denver or something, and it was going over here and over there. And she said, look, I had a week. This was the week.
Not only that,
it's not going to take it because
she may not be able to get back.
Well, there's that too, with it. And of course, what WestJet's telling people is, oh, well, no problem. If you want to change your flight, we won't charge you for changing the flight. But they're not going to give them back their money. They're giving them a credit as well. So that's, I don't know. Airlines everywhere are bad. You hear about this. It's not just in our country. You hear about it around the world. What is with the airline business? Like the glory days of flying back in the 50s.
That's like the last couple of
over.
times we flew. I opted to. It's more expensive, but I opted to get a fully refundable ticket. So
yeah,
that's that. But that still doesn't solve the problem if you're planning a trip somewhere and you've got hotels booked and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You still want to go the time that you were expected to go.
Yeah. But it sounded like the people they were interviewing, yeah, they were upset, but they're not upset with the flight attendants. They realize that this is the only avenue open to the flight attendants. And of course, they're going to pick their union's going to pick an optimum time to go on strike where it's going to do the most damage. And of course, long weekend when people are traveling. So yeah, but they were blaming the airlines themselves, the corporation, which is rightly so.
The last few times we've flown too, I've always checked to see if there's any airline contracts that are coming up.
Oh,
yeah,
you have to do that.
To be prepared that if we book something that we don't get stuck.
Yeah. Teresa's here. Hi, Teresa. So anyways, that's the big news in Canada right now. But then, of course, the other big news, which is ongoing news, is the Washington tariff talks. Our trade minister has gone down to meet with the trade minister, or I think it's called the trade minister, they're the equivalent in the United States, because Trumpy Poo, he wants us to remove or put the American liquor back on the shelves, and there's a couple of wants us to allow dairy from the United States into our country, and there's a couple of other things, and he's not going to remove up the tariffs unless we agree to everything he wants. Well, our prime minister, he's being very coy right now. He isn't saying much, but he's got an ace up his sleeve, and this bugs the ass off Trump, because Trump doesn't like to be outsmarted, and he's being outsmarted. Not that that's going to change his attitude any. If anything, it'll probably just make it worse, because that's the way he rolls. But at least they're talking. Those new tariffs have not come in effect, the 50%.
I think the deadline was supposed to be August 19th or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
middle of August, something like that. They gave 30 days. But with Trump, he gives timelines all the time, and then in the 11th hour, he changes it all the time. So who knows? You can't take anything that comes out of that man's mouth seriously. In fact, Walter was showing me just before he went on air, this painting?
Oh yeah, some painting somewhere. I'm not sure where it was. Somewhere in the U.S. I saw a newscast on it. It's somebody made a portrait of Trump, but they made it out of horse dung.
Horse poopy. You could say it. Horse shit.
Horse shit. Yeah.
It's
and
horse
they
shit.
call it Dawn of Dung.
Was it?
The Dawn of Dung. D-O-N.
D-O-N. Oh, as
of
in
dung.
Donald Trump. Dawn of Dung. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Collector's item. That was a shitty painting. Really, I think that's pretty good. And our prime minister, just back to what the trade strategy is for our country now, is he's noted that every country wants more trade with Canada except the U.S. And he's dismissed calls to use Canadian energy exports as leverage to combat U.S. pressure. Ottawa and Ontario collectively pledged $5 million to help domestic businesses diversify into alternative global markets. And this is what Carney's strategy is. He's not depending upon the Americans anymore. We did that forever. He's going out and he's diversifying the portfolio for Canada. There are many countries that want to do more business with Canada, which has got to irk Trump as well. And yeah, so basically Carney is creating negotiated contracts and things with other countries to close the Americans out, and of course, but Trump says all the time, he doesn't need anything from us. Nothing. Doesn't need a thing. Actually, there is something like, I saw a report that said the trade that we do annually, or used to do with the United States, was something like $160 billion, which we sell more things to the United States than we buy from the United States.
That's why they seem to say that because we're selling more, we're ripping off the United States.
We're ripping off.
However, the most of the excess
Rent-a-lip
that we're selling is energy. We sell to the northern U.S. Some of our electricity, and we also sell about. I've read that we supply 20% of the oil to the U.S.
Yeah,
as well. So,
but Carney has already said that there's been some push for Carney to turn off the lights.
Yeah.
In other words, stop exporting our electricity to especially it's in New York State and some of the other border states. A lot of them they get from that. But Carney isn't going to do that and I think that's right, because that doesn't make Trump suffer. that makes the average American suffer. And, you know, it's one thing to put tariffs on things and make certain products more expensive. Again, expensive to Americans, not to Canadians, because that's how tariffs work. But to cut off something that's an essential service.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to do that. So he's not even going to put that on the table as a negotiating issue at all. Now, Trump would. Look what he did to Cuba. You know, put an embargo on them getting any fuel. They're in the dark, and they've been in the dark for quite a while now, months. He has no moral conscience. Our prime minister has a moral conscience about that. He's not going to turn off the lights on, you know, the people on the other side of the border. You know, and I hope people that live there find out about this and appreciate that as well. Because, yeah, because we've been so unfair to Americans, according to Trump, you know. So there you go. Anyways, that's in the news. Oh, and also apparently talking about our natural resources and that, we have a massive nickel mine has been improved. Environment and Climate Change Canada officially approved the Crawford Nickel Project north of Timmins, Ontario. So north of Dubrovka. Once built to be one of the largest open pit nickel cobalt mines in the world. So here again is our government reinvesting in our own country, because that's going to create a lot of employment, especially employment is needed in the northern parts of our provinces and that kind of thing. And we are known for nickel. I mean, go to Sudbury. Sudbury, which is not as far up as Timmins, but north, a few hours north of us, like 3 hours, 4 hours.
I think it's 4. I'm not sure.
Anyways, you go up there and you can see the big nickel. They have a giant nickel that up there, but it's because they have mines there too.
It's a monument.
Yeah, it's a monument kind of thing. They also have the big penny, I think, and I think they've got all the coins.
I don't know what that is. I never heard of the big penny.
I thought they did at one time. Maybe not. Well,
I don't know why they'd have a big penny. We don't have pennies anymore.
Well, no, but these were all done many, many, many moons ago. I remember seeing the big nickel when I was a kid. We went to Sudbury.
Probably pretty soon we won't have nickels either.
No, but basically nickel's used in all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But not just in coins. So yeah, so this is all good for us. Very good for us. It's just a shame that we need it to go that we should have been doing this years and years and years ago. And it's Trump has pushed us to it now.
So yeah.
If there's anything good about it,
if there's anything that's good that's come of it, is the fact that we've had to diversify.
Yeah. So anyways, that's in the headlines. Now, meanwhile at home, well, we're off to, now originally we were going to go off to the east, to Kingston, for a couple of nights later next week. There was a couple of quilt stores on the way in that I thought we could stop at. But then we got thinking about it. And Walter got thinking about it. And he said, instead of going to Kingston, let's go the other way. Let's go west and go down to the Cambridge area. There's a lot more quilt stores in that area than there are in the Kingston area. And Kingston's lovely, but it's kind of boring too. So, I mean, you know.
We've been to Kingston many times.
So. I went to school in Kingston. I went to Queen's University for my teacher's degree. But, well, that was a long time ago. Like really long time ago, like 50 years ago, damn near. Not quite, but almost. So instead we're going down in the Cambridge area. So Walter's already got our hotel. And actually what we're doing is, and we've done this before, there is a college in Cambridge called Conestoga College. And in the summertime, they rent out their residence rooms like a hotel. And they're very comfortable. They have a little fridge in them. They have a microwave in the room. You have a bathroom in the room and everything. So I don't think there's television.
Yeah, there's a
TV. Is there a TV too? Oh, pretty good. And it's a lot cheaper than regular hotels, and you have all the same amenities. I mean, it's maybe not as plush looking.
No, it isn't. It's more it's more like a
basic.
Japanese hotel.
Yeah, it's more like so we've done those. But yeah, so we got that and for a couple of nights, and there's several places
It's
I
a
want to
little
go.
cheaper than it's about half the price of a regular hotel room. So it's good for a couple of days,
Yeah.
and
And like I said, there's more places there to shop for fabric. Like Lens Mills is there, and like they have, it's a good Lens Mills because it's got a lot of fabric, and they usually have a lot of Christmas fabric too, and
Yeah.
that's really what I'm focusing on.
yeah, and there's a lot of different unique kind of quilt stores in that area.
Yeah.
That's they're kind of nice to drive around and look at different places and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas at Kingston, I didn't really find a whole lot to go to.
Well, there's
And I was trying to
basically-
figure out what else we were going to do there. So
Yeah. Instead of stare at the walls.
yeah, like I didn't like. I mean, if we're in one of those residence rooms, I don't want anybody sitting in there all the time. So
Well, no, because they are a little on
Yeah.
the depressing side. But anyways, yeah, so we're going next Thursday and Friday, coming home Saturday morning. So a So Chatty episode. There may not be So Chatty next week. It depends. I'm going to take video, of course, wherever we go.
well, those
around, but-
residence rooms have really good Wi-Fi. Remember?
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
So
Maybe we'll do an impromptu live
Yeah.
So Chatty from our beautiful residence room or something. We'll see. So stay tuned for that. But if for some reason you don't see us come up on So Chatty on next Friday, it's not because we're dead. It's because we're away. And
Karen B said no trip to the Kingston Pen.
oh, to the Kingston Pen? No, I tried to get Walter booked in, but they won't take him. Apparently, he hasn't done anything serious enough. Bonnie says, and Bonnie lives in Sudbury area. She says nickel capital of the world, and it's 4 hours from Toronto.
Yeah.
Dubrovka says Timmins is already starting to boom. After the nickel mine opens, it will be quite interesting. Gold mines are still going strong here. Mine will be only 15. The mine will only be 15 minutes from you. Oh, okay.
Oh, good. We
So-
can go to Timmins. Hey, I've never actually been to Timmins.
No, I don't think I've ever been. Well, no, I've never been to Timmins either. Bring a bucket, scoop out your own nickels. In the mine, nickel mine, yeah. Elizabeth says we have 3 lovely quilt stores and 1 Lens Mill store in Barrie. We haven't been up to Barrie in quite some
Yeah.
time with that. So yeah.
Another trip.
Yep, another trip.
Barry's not as far away.
No, that's true. Barrie is not as far away. So we do have company coming next Sunday for brunch. You will know one of these people and her husband, and that's Lydia. Lydia is, I don't see her today on here, but she often is on the live. She's been to some of the pop-up so days. On a very rare occasion, I think she's made a Wednesday so day, but she's still one of those people who's not retired. She still works. But she and her husband are off having a weekend next weekend at Casino Rama, which is in a town called Aurelia, which is about an hour and a half north from us. They're going to see a group from the 70s, I think. Sega? Is it Sega? Is that what it's called? I barely remember them. It's true. I was not a follower. But anyways, they're doing that, and they're going to come here for brunch after they get up the next day and everything. So we're planning that. So it's going to be a busy kind of weekend because we've got to get home on Saturday, and there's a few things we got to pick up for the brunch. And what are you doing with your finger?
I was just looking at Karen. Have we been to E&E Cloth in Newton, Ontario? Now it sounds familiar. Is that
Yes, that's that little Mennonite shop, isn't it? That's also their post office. It's you'd miss it. It's on one of the smaller little road highways or something. I think that's the one that we've been to, and it was at the time, we haven't been there in a long time. They had great prices. I remember that on their fabric and everything. If that's the same place. Yeah, I think it is. She says it's 45 to 60 minutes from Cambridge. So yeah, I think that's the one we went to.
Mm-hmm.
That I do remember that. In fact, I still haven't done it. I found it in my stash when I was cleaning out kits. I got a kit from them, and it says E&E, their name on it, but it is a scene with a horse-drawn buggy on it or something.
Have to look them up again. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep,
we've
she
been
says,
there.
yep, that's the one. Yeah, we've been there.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yep.
I think we were driving around all over the place one time when we were out there, and we happened upon it.
Yeah, yeah. Dubrovka says, come to Timmins. We will treat you both. Treat us. What with? But, well, who knows, Dubrovka?
How
Maybe.
far is that?
How far is Timmins? Timmins is,
It's a bit of a hike.
yeah, like it's several days of driving if you unless
I
you
don't
fly.
know. I think it's several hours, many hours.
I think it's many hours. I don't know. Walter's looking it up. Okay, so yeah, so we've got Lydia and her husband Scott are coming here for brunch. So I don't think it's going to affect our live next Sunday because
6 hours and 52 minutes.
oh, is that all it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a lot further away.
7
than that.
hours.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still it's a day's trip.
Yeah.
But anyways, but I thought it was a lot further than that. But anyways, yeah. So they're coming, and that might interfere with our live, but I don't think so because they're coming for brunch, and they probably want to get. Lydia probably has to work on Monday, so they probably got to get back. They're from Ottawa, so they got to get back to Ottawa. So we'll see.
Yeah, E&E, when we went up there that time, they had some really good prices.
Yeah, they did. I remember that. And Diana says they had the best price on wide back. Don't miss Auntie May's. Where's Auntie May's? I don't know that one. At Diana.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does. Maybe we've been to Auntie May's, but I don't really remember. But anyways, Walter's looking it up.
I'll have to write this down.
Yeah. So yeah. Plus the other things that are up in that area, it is Mennonite country. So there is a farmer's market. There's a big market kind of a thing up in a place called St. Jacob's. Which, if we feel like we're doing that, we can do that as well. We've done that before in the past. So yeah, it's quilt country up there. So what else is new? Well, you probably didn't notice them, but I got new glasses. Now you're going to say, well, they look very much like your old ones. That's right, they do. They're not quite exactly the same. They're a slightly different shape, but they are what they call crystal. I love crystal ones. They're plastic, but they call them crystal. They're very clear. And the reason I got them is because my other ones had it. Oh, excuse me, choked up over it. My old ones have had it. And so I figured I'm sick of these. I'm going into where I got them, and because I go to the same place all the time. And immediately they wanted to put the latest lenses or frames on me. And oh my God, they were god-awful ugly. I guess the big chunky frames are in, and these things make you like the ones they stuck on me. They were kind of a brown and a black color, and they were huge. They were huge. I looked like an alien with the things on. So I said, no. So she reached for another pair, and I said, I love my crystal ones. I wouldn't mind having another pair similar to those. So she had these ones there and put them on, and I said, yep, I'll take them. So they said it would take about a week. We went in on Monday this past week and got a phone call on Friday morning. They were in. So we went down and picked them up. I'm still having a little problem with them on the adjustment. They were rubbing on my ear, and we went in yesterday, and Carl, who's the owner of the store, he adjusted them for me. I think I need another slight adjustment. They're not rubbing, but they are sliding a little bit. But
yeah, at least the place that we buy our glasses from, they're really good at after sales service.
Oh yeah. Oh, Annie Mae's is that restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never ate in there.
I don't know. I don't recall.
We walked. But they were lined up out the door.
Oh yeah, that's
The
right.
time we were there. Yeah, I know where you're talking about now. Yeah. So anyways, yep, new glasses. Let's see. So Walter's been busy, not working on my shirt. Busy working under the deck. He got everything opened up, and now it's going to be 3 weeks or so before the
Well, I
company.
called a place to ask them if they did removals, and it's a place that we had their hot tub repaired a couple of
Yeah.
times, and they're good company. And they said they did, but they were taking this week off because actually it's a holiday tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
this is a long weekend
yeah,
here
so
in
I
Canada.
guess they were taking a week off. It's a family-owned business, and so but they said yeah they would be willing to do it, but it might take them 2 or 3 weeks to get around to it.
So everything is ready for them to come in and take it out. We don't know whether they're going to break it all up or take it out in one piece. Probably it's easier for them to break it up because they have to go up a little hill and out from our place. But the patio looks kind of funny right now because it's kind of open concept.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been enclosed for had sort of a rough enclosure type thing. I mean, it looked better on the inside than it did on the outside.
yeah.
But it sort of almost looked like a big shed. But anyway,
You said shed, did you?
shed.
Okay.
And what else?
Sounded like something else.
And so I took all the boards off and stuff like that to open it up. And because I wasn't sure how soon I could get somebody to come, because I didn't want to have to do it like really quick, right? Actually, it didn't take me that long to do it,
No.
but like at the time, I wasn't sure because when I put it together, I remember stripping some screws and stuff like that, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to get it off, get the boards off and stuff. So
Well, you did.
I did, and it's almost ready to go. And so
Yep. And then we have to see what state the interlocking brick that's underneath it all that it sat on, like how badly it has shifted over time and what needs to be done there. And Walter's already thinking about how he's going to redesign the way it's going to be enclosed. We were talking last night about having some plexiglass, about 3 feet of plexiglass across the bottom, and then the rest will all be screened in above it. Before we had privacy lattice about,
yeah, we had privacy lattice part way up. We don't
yeah,
really need that
it was
anymore.
higher than 3 feet.
Yeah,
That.
and it it actually kept I and we screened in the rest, and it actually kept the snow out,
Yeah,
which I was surprised. So
with it. And then people always thought that was, well, why you've got this privacy lattice and everything, how come you've got screening here? Because I said, when we sit in the hot tub, we want to be able to see the forest behind us. And in the wintertime, it's very pretty. If you have a lights, like Christmas like snow, those things that they make the movies with and show the little snow drifting down and everything. It looks very pretty out there. So, and it did keep the snow from drifting in too.
it actually kept the mosquitoes from coming in.
Yes, it did keep the mosquitoes. Although the mosquitoes are having a heyday under there right now. I swear every morning when I get up and I look out on the patio through the patio doors, I'm surprised I don't see some little furry thing curled up on the chairs in there. We did have mice. They decided they wanted to check it out. They came in. They went, "Oh, look, it's open house. Okay, let's go through." But Walter's poisoning them as we speak.
Poisoning pigeons
In the park. Yeah. So yeah, it's coming along. Walter also has been busy. He bought dirt and peat moss because what? You're going to put in
another corner garden. So.
Another corner garden.
I would have done that today, but it was raining all day.
Yeah, and still is. Well, it'll make our next door neighbors very happy because when they look over from there,
well, they moved in and they didn't have much of a garden, and they looked into getting landscaping done, but it was going to cost them quite a bit of money to do it professionally. So her poor husband had to do it.
Yeah, they did their.
But I'm not doing anything
what they've
that
done.
elaborate.
No, theirs is very elaborate.
Yeah, and
Very nice. But they can see into our backyard when they're out on their deck, and they must look and go,
Yeah, well,
God.
our backyard's just grass, so
Yeah, we've never done anything. So we have a rhubarb plant growing in one corner. That corner garden you put in a month or so ago,
yeah,
with some daylilies in there too and whatnot.
yeah.
And what are you going to put in this one?
I don't know.
More daylilies, hostas.
I don't know. I was thinking a hosta and some couple other things. I don't know. Yeah,
Hostas would be good because they fill up,
yeah,
really fill in that corner and everything. So that would look good. But yeah, so he's been very busy with that. And our garden, speaking of gardening, our deck garden, okay, we're going to have a pepper explosion. All of our green peppers and yellow peppers, and some of them may go eventually red, they're just all coming on like crazy right now. So I suggested that we should make some, and when I say we, Walter, make some stuffed peppers and freeze them. Walter goes, yeah, I don't want to make them. I don't like making them. I love stuffed peppers.
you never said that before.
What, about stuffed peppers? I have.
Okay, well, I'll make some stuffed peppers.
Yeah, I love them. Yours are really good. You make good stuffed peppers. So, but I'm going to take, we've got also hot peppers and jalapenos, chili peppers, that kind of stuff. And I am going to pick a few of those at some point in time, and I'm going to pickle them. I make this mixed pickled pepper mix kind of a thing. And it's great on, I like to throw it in salads. And it stays good because they're sealed jars. I do like I'm canning them, put it that way. And it works out fine with that. So, and we throw in take some of the chilies and we put them in a Ziploc and freeze them. And they're good for when you're cooking, And like I said, and when I say we, again, I mean Walter, when Walter's cooking and that kind of stuff. And we got beans. We've had quite a few beans off it. Yellow beans and green beans. And we had some last night actually with dinner. They're turning out quite nice with that. And their cucumbers are starting to come on too. In fact, we've got a couple of big boys out there right now. Need to cut them down. I'm thinking about maybe making a couple of jars of pickles, but I want to make them, I think they used to be called icicle pickles or something. I have to look up a recipe for them because the cucumbers that we're growing, they're too big. They're not pickling like
but we can make one of those salads with them and stuff like that.
What salads?
What,
that one?
Sliced vinegar and sliced.
Oh, sliced cucumbers and vinegar. Yeah. For that. Well, and we can have cucumber sandwiches. I love cucumber sandwiches.
As long as there's cream cheese on them.
I like them with the tasty tang of Miracle Whip. Yeah, and then people go sick on us and that. So anyways, it's come. I always like this time of the year. And I'm hoping when Lydia and Scott come on Sunday that it'll be nice out so we can be out there amongst the vegetables. We'll see. It'll probably pour rain. Let's see. Some people came in. Rachel is here. And let's see. Debbie says, sweet shirt, Mr. Steven. Yep, this is my steampunk shirt. Again, a creation. Because I love steampunk. And when we saw this fabric, I said, ooh.
Actually, I bought that at Windmills last year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or last time.
Oh, last time. It wasn't last year.
No.
We haven't been in several years. Rachel says, evening, I don't like breaking in new glasses. It always takes a week or so to settle properly. Yeah, I know it does. Rachel says, we've got a shed to dismantle in our garden. I've been eyeing up the sledgehammer, thinking that will be the quickest option and the most fun for me. Well, demolition can be fun. Dubrovka says, with all the renovations, we are under sure
drives you to
drives you
so
to
you're
drive.
doing renovations.
Yeah. Now that we're retired, we are more busier than ever. Oh, yeah. Yep, for sure. And, John's here. Hi, John. Pepper party at Stephen and Walter's. Yeah, everybody come. Bring your own knife. So, today's main topic and our special guest is, let me get it up here. Our special guest is Mr., and I have to say his name low because he'll answer. Well, what the heck? It's our Echo. Hi, Echo. Are you there?
No.
Echo, are you there?
I'm here. What's on your mind?
Well, we're going to talk to you today about the elderly and smart devices and how they can help uh, when people are in their later years. What do you think of that?
That's a fantastic topic. Smart devices are genuinely transformative for older adults. They're helping people maintain independence, stay connected with family, and age comfortably in their own homes. The technology has finally evolved beyond flashy gadgets to become genuinely useful tools that address real needs like medication reminders, fall detection, and hands-free communication. What specific aspects are you most curious about? The health monitoring capabilities, the social connection benefits, or maybe the challenges around adoption?
Well, I want to talk about safety and fall prevention because fall prevention is something elderly people are very much concerned about because if they fall, they can damage themselves. And once you've broken a hip, apparently recovering from it can be a long task. And some people have actually died from complications with that. So, how do AI fall detection sensors work in, say, like something like a nursing home?
AI fall detection systems in nursing homes use motion sensors and cameras to monitor residents' movements. When they detect an unusual pattern like a sudden fall, they immediately alert staff through alarms and notifications. These systems can be lifesavers, getting help to someone within seconds rather than minutes.
So can AI predict when a senior citizen is about to fall then? So they can prevent them from getting hurt?
AI is making progress in fall prediction, but we're not quite there yet. Current systems can detect falls in real time, and some newer models can identify patterns that might indicate increased fall risk. Researchers are working on predictive models that analyze movement patterns, but accurate prediction before a fall happens remains challenging.
So how does AI video analytics monitor resident safety then in assisted living, for example?
AI video analytics in assisted living facilities use cameras to monitor common areas like hallways and dining rooms. The system analyzes movement patterns in real time, detecting when someone falls or shows unstable movement. When it spots a potential fall, it immediately alerts staff so they can respond quickly. Want to know more about how these AI models are trained to recognize different types of falls and near falls?
Yes.
AI models are trained using huge datasets of video footage showing different types of movements, normal walking, stumbling, and actual falls. Researchers use special techniques to teach the AI to spot the subtle differences between someone just changing direction and someone about to lose their balance. Some systems even analyze gait patterns during everyday activities to predict potential fall risks before they happen. Want to know about the specific machine learning techniques that make these systems so accurate?
No, I don't. But I want to change the topic slightly and talk about health monitoring and medical care. How is AI used to monitor the vital signs of nursing home residents?
AI in nursing homes uses wearable devices to continuously track residents' vital signs like heart rate, blood pressure, and oxygen levels. These smart monitors analyze the data in real time, detecting any concerning patterns or sudden changes that might indicate health issues. When they spot something unusual, they immediately alert nursing staff so they can check on the resident right away.
So, can AI detect early signs of things like infections or illnesses in seniors?
Yes, AI can detect early signs of infections and illnesses in seniors. AI-powered systems analyze patterns in vital signs, lab results, and medical imaging to spot subtle changes that might indicate developing health issues. These systems can identify early signs of conditions like pneumonia, heart problems, or even some cancers before symptoms become obvious.
So, how does AI assist nursing home staff with medication management then? Because there's lots of people on drugs in nursing homes.
AI helps nursing home staff with medication management through automated systems that track prescriptions, dosages, and timing. These smart systems send alerts when it's time to administer medication, flag potential drug interactions, and keep detailed records of each resident's medication history.
One thing I've often heard that people in nursing homes have a problem with is their sleep pattern. So, what is the role of AI in analyzing a senior's sleep pattern?
AI analyzes senior sleep patterns using contactless sensors that track movement, heart rate, and breathing without cameras or wearables. These systems detect disruptions, monitor sleep quality, and spot early signs of health issues by identifying patterns that might indicate developing conditions.
So, generally, what you're telling me is that AI can monitor the health conditions of the residents in a nursing home. So, do they have to wear any of these devices?
Not necessarily. While some systems use wearable devices, many nursing homes now use contactless sensors that monitor residents without requiring them to wear anything. These systems can track movement, heart rate, and breathing patterns using environmental sensors placed discreetly in the room. Are you looking into these systems for a specific nursing home, or researching them in general?
Nope, just researching them in general. So, let's change the topic now, because a lot of these people are up there in the years and they may not have a lot of family left, or they may even be on their own. So there's things called robotic pets now. So how do AI robotic pets benefit nursing home residents?
I think you
I
stumped it.
stumped it. Okay, let me put it this way.
Say echo again.
Echo, how do AI robotic pets benefit nursing home residents?
AI robotic pets are really making a difference in nursing homes. They're helping residents feel less lonely and more engaged by providing companionship and stimulating conversation. These cute little robots can even help reduce anxiety and agitation, especially for residents with dementia. They're like having a furry friend around that's always happy to chat.
So, speaking of having a furry friend around and something that you can chat to, are nursing homes using AI chatbots to reduce senior loneliness?
Yes, nursing homes are using AI chatbots to help reduce senior loneliness. These chatbots provide companionship through regular conversations about residents' interests, memories, and daily experiences. At River Spring Living in the Bronx, about 70 seniors regularly chat with an AI named Mila about topics like music, sports, and personal struggles. While some experts have concerns about replacing human connection, pilot programs show these AI companions can be valuable conversation partners, especially for residents with dementia who might otherwise have limited interaction opportunities.
And that's what I was going to ask you, is how does AI technology help people living with Alzheimer's or dementia?
AI helps people with Alzheimer's and dementia in several ways. It can analyze brain scans and biological data to detect early signs of cognitive decline, often before symptoms appear. AI-powered devices can also assist with daily tasks, provide reminders, and offer companionship through chatbots and robotic pets. Some systems can even adapt to a person's changing needs as their condition progresses, helping them maintain independence for longer.
Okay, so let's talk about staffing then. We've been talking about how it'll help the residents, but one of the big complaints today is that there isn't enough staffing. So, how does AI help solve staffing shortages in nursing homes?
AI helps nursing homes tackle staffing shortages by automating hiring processes, predicting staffing needs, and handling routine administrative tasks. AI chat agents streamline intake and triage, while virtual assistants reduce the administrative burden on existing staff, allowing them to focus more on resident care.
Okay, so my last question has to do with finances. How much on average would it cost to equip a senior residence with smart devices that do all the things we've been talking about?
I don't have exact average costs for equipping a nursing home with all those smart devices. Based on recent industry reports, the costs can vary widely depending on the specific technologies and scale of implementation. Some facilities are investing millions for comprehensive smart care platforms, while others are implementing more targeted solutions. The costs typically include hardware, software platforms, installation, and ongoing maintenance.
Is AI being used in a large number of existing long-term care settings?
AI is being used in long-term care settings, but it's still largely in early adoption and pilot stages. Current applications are focused on assessments, diagnosis support, monitoring, and care navigation, but widespread adoption is constrained by data gaps, privacy concerns, and the need for thorough evaluation.
Are there systems that the average person who feels that they need to have assistance because of their age, can they equip their home with some of this technology?
Yes, there are many consumer-grade smart home systems available for seniors who want to age in place. Popular options include voice assistants like Amazon Echo for hands-free control, smart locks for easier entry, motion-activated lighting for safety, and security cameras for peace of mind. These systems are designed to be simple to set up and use, helping seniors maintain independence while providing family members visibility into their well-being.
So with all this monitoring that AI can do, this brings up the question of somebody's privacy. Is that a concern?
Absolutely. Privacy is a major concern with AI monitoring in healthcare. That's why regulations like HIPAA in the US and PIPTA in Canada require strict consent and data protection measures. Systems are designed to anonymize data and limit access to authorized personnel only.
Okay, well, that's a lot of information to think about, especially as our population is aging. So thank you, Echo, for filling us in on all of this.
You're welcome. It really is fascinating how technology is evolving to support our aging population. The possibilities are pretty exciting when you think about how these innovations could help people maintain their independence and quality of life.
Okay, so the reason I wanted to go over this is because lately AI has been getting a lot of criticism in the media, and a lot of people are saying that AI technology is evil and that kind of thing. Well, everything has its evil side, everything has its good side, and I thought this is something that, since most of the people that come to my channel are getting up there in years. And yeah, I don't think we should be afraid of the technology. I think we should embrace it. And by the sounds of things, I'm thinking if this had been available when my mother was living on her own, this would have been a great help, I think, for me, because she had one of those things you wear around your neck, what was it, life alarm or something?
Yeah, it was something that would detect falls.
And that kind of thing. And it worked fairly well, but she would sometimes it wouldn't register when she fell, or
yeah, what would happen is she would fall in slow motion.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't detect her fall. So
yeah. So yeah. Now the other thing I think is interesting is an AI pet. I've seen some on YouTube and stuff like that, and they're pretty realistic in their behavior. But I don't know. I'd rather have the real thing. However,
you don't have to clean it up.
You don't have to clean it up. You don't have to feed it, which might be a pain for somebody that's living all by themselves and something like that. And yeah, it might be a little spooky talking to a pet, but is that any more spooky than talking to an AI like we just did? And they're getting even better in the way they communicate, which that is kind of scary. But for an older person, I think it would be helpful. So let's see. We've got people. Colleen says good topic. East Coast Kim is here. She enjoyed herself at the Wednesday Sew Day. Well, glad you could make it, Kim. I hope you come again. I now have Sue to do the primitive star with. Oh, okay, great. I'm going to do that one too at some point in time. Sue says, hi, East Coast. Oh, okay, they're talking about that. Teresa says, dice two colored peppers, one sweet onion, chop some green onions and Italian parsley and chives. Add crumbled feta and cooked cold pasta. Stir up with some Greek dressing with feta and oregano. Yum. Actually, I have done something very similar to that in the past too, and it is good. We have a really great recipe that we haven't seen her for a long time on here. Angel was her name. Some of you might remember. She's in the pepper business. She works for like I don't know, a food distribution.
Yeah, it's a pepper growing
or was it pepper growing?
Pepper growing and distribution.
Yeah. And she put me onto this
place.
recipe that uses peppers. There isn't any lettuce in it. It's just peppers and tomatoes, some basil and onion. And you toast some like thick bread, like a French loaf or something like that. Cut it in cubes. Make like you're making croutons.
Isn't it called like panzanella? Or
yeah,
something?
panza.
Yeah.
Panza. Yeah. No. And there's a vinaigrette that you mix up, and you throw that all in the bowl except for the croutons that you've made, and let it marinate for an hour or so. Well, you don't even have to let it marinate, but I think the flavors come through a little bit more if you do that. And then before you serve it, you toss in the cubes of bread and, stir it up and serve it. And it's very, very tasty.
Well, I think your recipe doesn't have feta cheese in it.
No, it doesn't.
That might be a nice addition.
That would be a nice addition to it, actually. Well, you put anything you want in it, really.
Yeah, well, it's like salad, right?
Yeah, and it's the vinaigrette is very easy. I forget. I think it's mustard and vinegar and oil, something like that. It's quite tasty, actually. But I mean, that's another thing you can use up your peppers for if you've got a lot of them, like we're about to have. Teresa says, I guess that's the problem. Trump needs an AI puppy. I wouldn't put anything live or dead in front of that man. Carol says, HIPAA in the U.S. is a joke. The government has the right to request and obtain almost any personal medical info. The U.S. is working on reducing the number of nursing home staff required. Yeah, well, our system, too, is under attack. As well. It's being underfunded and there's all kinds of stuff. So yeah, AI painted a much more rosy picture of that. But that's why I asked about the question about how much it would cost. To fit a nursing home out with all this stuff that it was describing they could do, I am sure costs millions for it. And these nursing homes, they don't have millions. Plus, they'd have to raise the prices that they charge their residents as well to cover a lot of this stuff. And people going into a nursing home, many of them do not have the money for it. They depend upon, in our country, in our province, the government will subsidize you, but basically they take every cent away from you that you may have. And if you've got any savings or if you've got any kind of an income coming in, there's a threshold for that. And they need to put more money into this stuff.
And actually, items like like a lot of people are, because of the shortage of nursing homes, are moving into senior residence, which has even less staff. And anything that would, and a lot of the times in these retirement residents, these staff don't have the time to check on every person living in there. So if somebody like that is one of those places, I would think something like a fall detection or other things would be beneficial for that person. Yeah. That it can alert somebody for help.
Yeah. The senior residences are a joke. They're as expensive as hell. They really don't offer, everything's a la carte. I looked into them for my mother. And you don't get... you need to be independent already. So you're moving into an apartment, a small apartment where you have a food service. But as far as anything else, like if you need laundry facilities, if you need medications help, if you need help with personal care and things like that, all of that is a la carte, and it's all very expensive and not very reliable. I mean, I think I figured out for my mother at the time it was going to cost something like well over $5,000, $6,000 a month, and there was no way that
Yeah, and there was
we
no
could afford it.
personal care.
No, with it. So yeah. Um, so if you're rich enough to afford it and you're in good shape, fun. Go for it. Yeah, pub nights.
John says he already talks to his pets, but your pets don't talk back, do they?
Maybe they do. Who knows? Deluxe 110 says, I use AI Alexa all the time. If I wake up at night with a particular worry about something, I ask Alexa for information. If it's something I want to retain, I have her send it to my email back to sleep. That's a really good idea about that. What I often do is if I've got something I don't want to forget the next day, I grab my phone and I plug it into that. But that's a really good idea. I like that. Sue says, hi, John. I'm working on Tinkerbell. Yeah, John, I'm cutting pieces for Tinkerbell, too. Can you tell I'm ecstatic about it? I'm so happy. Happy, happy, happy. Yeah. Rachel says, my next door neighbor is in a care home at
1,600 pounds.
1,600 pounds per week.
Wow.
Wow. Didn't even give them fresh fruit apart from bananas. I had to buy, I guess, take in fresh fruit for her and her table of friends. Absolute disgrace. Holy crap.
Yeah, sometimes in these senior homes, even in our area, they don't have big budgets for food. So they often, like a lot of the, like in our actual nursing homes, there's regulated amounts of expenditures, and the expenditure for food for each senior is not usually very high.
No.
And they often can't afford to buy fresh fruit.
Yeah. And John says, laugh out loud, I'm flying in to cut the rest of the blocks for you. Thank you, John. We'll give you a glass of wine. Yeah. You come here. In fact, I'll have you cut everything in that kit for me.
It's after Tinkerbell, everything is so big.
Oh, yeah, you tease. You tease. Oh, Dana's here. Hi, Dana. I've been recently looking into a few senior residences here in Regina. There are huge differences, and I'm assuming you mean between residences. Yeah, you got to shop around because we saw several different ones too, and you got the same story. They were like used car salesmen. They didn't want you to leave until you signed the contract, which we never did. There was no way. But they made it sound like, oh, don't have to worry about anything. You know, we have all these facilities here. We can look after that.
I know. And they drop little things like, oh, our seniors love this kind of food, and we have it all the time, and all this other stuff. When you know that's not true. Actually, I was before my mom went into a nursing home. We didn't realize that she had dementia, and this is while I was still working. So we got her a spot in a retirement residence for the time being till we could get her into a nursing home. And they made it sound like it was like just like a nursing home. You didn't have anything to worry about. No, it was nothing like that.
They screwed up on her meds.
They screwed up on her meds, and they were like, it was a real disaster.
Yeah, it was, and
I was lucky because she wasn't in there for more than a couple of months, and we were able to place her into a nursing home. So
it was a horrible place.
And the nursing home she got into was good. So
yeah. John says wine after the cutting, and Charlotte says wine during cutting might be a bit of a problematic. Well, the thing is, it makes the cutting go much faster, and as long as you don't look at it until the next day, you're okay. But the next day you look at, oh, okay, I need more fabric. This is a scrap pile, I'm sure. So anyways, I thought that would be interesting. And let me know if you'd like us talking with the AI at times, because I'm thinking that maybe down the road one day, we'll all talk to the AI. You can
Yeah,
bring
maybe the AI can cut out all the pieces for you for John's quilt.
Oh, I wish it would do that. Jeez. But what I was saying, before Walter rudely interrupted me and got me off my train of thought, is that I'm thinking we could have a session where you guys would put questions for the AI in the chat. I'll repeat it to the AI and we'll see what we come up with, certain answers. So you can ask it, you can ask it anything. And I have had arguments with it. Believe me. Sometimes it gets a little sarcastic with me. It even told me that I was sarcastic. How dare it? I'm not sarcastic. Much. Yeah, right. Rachel says, my daughter's friend is a nurse. I've told her when my in-laws need care, I'm going to hire her and she can go on sabbatical from work and care for them. Cheaper than a home and can trust her. Yeah. Be nice if you have someone in the family that is trained in that can do it. But yeah, when you're not trained for it, it does present a problem. So the last minute, speaking of problems, things like that, I have to share with you a comment. Actually, a series of comments that came from one person. I will tell you who the person is. I don't know who this person is. They just popped up in my channel, and they popped up last week. I had mentioned something, I think, on Idiot Quilter about buying stuff from the United States. And right now, and like I buy Canadian and I order from Canadian online shops when I need quilting stuff. For many reasons, but mainly right now it's because
this is what we're doing. Our industry.
It's like supporting our country.
Fabric might be American, but
yeah, well, it probably is. But that's all I said about it. I just, just in passing. Well, this person said, and this person goes by Spiritual Gangster 8386. I don't know who they are. I'm also even wondering if this is a legitimate subscriber, because you sometimes get subscribers who, what they do is they like to stir the pot. So they said, what do you mean the company is an American company? So that's that. You give the impression that's a bad thing. I'm an American who watches you as a quilter. Fine. You're not alone. 3/4 of the people that are subscribed to the channel are from the United States. So I thought, what's going on here? So I wrote back, that is exactly what I mean. We as Canadians are trying our best to not support American businesses, given the treatment your president has been dealing out to us. Why would we spend our money on the US? By the way, Trump supporters are not welcome here. Sorry, because this is what I suspected. And this should not be a shock to anybody on here. You know I have said that before. People who support Trump are not welcome here. Stop being a subscriber. I don't need you. So this person decided to write back. The Idiot Quilter, you named yourself perfectly. The Idiot Quilter. Just because I'm an American, you automatically think all is Trump supporter. But having said that, I am a Trump supporter. Okay. I just hope others who follow you as Americans sees this. I just hope others who follow you as Americans see this.
Sees
this, yeah. I am a quilter here just for the joy of the hobby and not for politics. People like you will never grow, and it's part of the problem of what is going on in this world. Look in the mirror. Yes, what I see in the mirror is a proud Canadian who doesn't put up with shit from people like this. So, and then she wrote, just so you know, YouTube is an American company, so why don't you get off YouTube then? I'm quite aware that YouTube's an American company. But we don't have the equivalent in Canada, because if we did, I would be using it. So I figured, okay, I'm being baited here, is what I'm thinking. But I thought, my policy about people who write this kind of shit, they're going to get it back because I don't suffer fools. So this is my reply to her. Now I wrote one. Excuse me, I'm choking on my water. I wrote one, and then I decided, no, I'm not going to post that because it was a nasty reply to match the nastiness of this person. And I thought, no. This is just now going to be drama on here. So this is what I wrote. And I got to go back to,
Stop breathing that water.
I'm trying to be a fish. I've always thought it'd be fun. So, you know, the AI had told me I'm sarcastic, so I thought I'd use that. So I put, you know, you are exactly the type of American that is most hated in the world, and that is why you are a Trump supporter. But more importantly, you seem to be in a very unhappy state of mind, which I can only assume has been caused by the state of your country right now. You probably feel very guilty about putting Trump into power. He has betrayed you and others that supported him and probably thought at the time that he was going to look after your best interests, which he has not. Instead of making up for your mistake, you are lashing out at me as if I can change anything that's happening in the US right now. And by lashing out at me, you're really lashing out at all Canadians, and you are more than likely blaming us because Trump has, for all the problems that have been brought upon your world by Trump, the man you put into power. I feel very sorry for you, and I hope you will get some professional help because your mental state right now is not in a good place. I wish you the best of luck on your road to recovery. Okay, sarcastic? Yeah. Do you think that was the end of it? No! This one came right back at me with, the idiot Quilter should be the one to get off YouTube. It's an American company. We already know that. You've already mentioned that. You're a hypocrite if you use YouTube. You don't want to support Americans. Don't use American products or services. In the end, you get paid by an American company. And that was at that point, then I decided, okay, after I copied the messages, I blocked them. I kicked them off. Yeah. Okay, let's make something very clear. First of all, you know that I call people out that write these kind of comments. One, it's entertaining. And two, it makes me feel good to lash out at them and then block them. Why? Because I have the power. I always have the power of the delete key. But the other thing too is this one's going on about basically a real Trump supporter. She believes everything that idiot has told them about our country, about the Canadian country, and blame everything on us. Now, I do know that most Americans don't agree with Trump when it comes to putting the blame on Canadians. But like I said in one comment to her, she said she's a Trumper. Well, it's people like her, and she has characterized through her words very much what Trumpers are like. They blindly believe everything that comes out of his mouth and act accordingly. And they're just nasty wastes of oxygen. So I don't feel bad about the things I wrote back to this person at all. Bring it on. You know, these kind of people. Bring it on. If you think that as Canadians, we are going to crumble in a pile, sadly wrong. And I think a lot of the upper echelons in the American government, through the way our people, our prime minister, and that have been dealing with issues, are starting to see that we aren't this little country of people who say sorry all the time for things. We have a long fuse. But watch out when we explode, because there will be havoc. We will scream havoc. We will unnave these kind of peoples from the nave to the chops, or unseam them from the nave to the chops. That's the Shakespearean line I wanted right there. So yeah, I want to share that with you because I thought it was, well, it's kind of entertaining in the least bit. Okay, so let's see. Gloria says she took care of her mom for 4 years before she passed in 2019. Mom had dementia. Then I took care of my older sister who had COPD until she passed in 2021. Kept them out of the nursing home. You know, Gloria, that's amazing that you were able to do that kind of thing, because I know with the care that I had to give my mother and what Walter had to give his mother.
My mother I wouldn't have been able to do it because,
No.
well, first of all, I was working. And the other thing was, my mother was a heavy lady. She could not get it. She was bedridden for the last couple of years of her life. And I wouldn't have been able to do that.
And she had dementia.
Yeah, and she had dementia.
And everything like that. So, yeah.
And she was blind.
Yeah. So, you know, so anybody who can do that to help an aging parent or a relative or something stay in the comfort of their own home, my hat goes off to you, because that is a major sacrifice and takes a toll on you too, as well. Rachel says, need your stout Guinness back to age your cough. Yeah. And Colleen says, Glory, you are to be admired for all you did for your mom and sister. I hope all's well with you. Yeah, because, you know, I was told and heard it many times, caregivers need to look after themselves first, because you're no good at giving care if you are miserable, and your health is affected by all of this too. So you're not being an effective caregiver either. But yeah, it's a hard state.
Yeah, like I knew a guy once that he tried to take care of his mom. She had dementia, and it was a real battle. And he eventually caved and had to put her in a home, because it was the dementia was really bad, and it was they could not handle her at home.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough thing. Oh, and just to backtrack a little bit in relation to this comment that was made, she said about to get paid by this American company. She makes it sound like I make major income from YouTube.
Yeah, a lot of people think that
Yeah.
if you're a YouTube creator that you make tons and tons of money from your channel. You make a little bit, but not a lot. And we do pay American tax.
And I do pay 30% of whatever I make in a month from their advertising that goes up there. It goes to the American coffers. That's automatically taken out of whatever I make. So what I usually wind up making is anywhere between $160 to $180 a month Canadian after the tax is taken off. I'm very transparent about it. I don't do it for the money, but it's there. So I might as well take advantage of that. But I think some people think if they write comments like that and they want to see my channel fail, and they threaten me with,
or
they're going
we
to
lose subscribers or something like that, that it's the end of. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. You can,
all right.
Finish your thought.
Never mind.
Finish your thought, because it was what I was going to say, and now I don't remember. Go ahead, finish your thought.
We're not reliant on subscribers.
Yes, we are not. So anybody can. I will not cry over the loss of a subscriber. Doesn't matter to me.
It's a different mentality. A lot of people that are on YouTube are doing it for business, and they expect to be making money, and that's all they're interested in. And that's not what Steve's doing.
It's a hobby.
It's a hobby, and it's
it is what it is.
It isn't that you're planning to be rich.
Oh God, no. There are those that do, though. I mean, but they're the ones that have,
I know. So
millions of
people,
viewers.
there are people like this person that wrote seems to think that they have leverage by
they
threatening to leave because you're reliant on this income.
Well, they live in a delusional world, but they voted for Trump, who's delusional. So this is part of the delusional gang. Yeah. Debbie says, but we are reliant on your humor and quilting knowledge. Thank you, Debbie. That was a very nice compliment. And Barb says, well, then I'm out of here. Laugh out loud.
Okay,
God,
bye.
I thought she'd never leave. Oh, praise the Lord, there is one. Just joking, Barb. Okay, people, but we are going to get out of here now. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you found some things interesting and entertaining and the whole bit. And as I said, we'll probably be doing the live as usual next week. But but just in case something happens, you know, you'll know why, because we have company
Yeah.
that stayed long. That whatever. And Dubrovka says, just great chat. Thank you. Have a great week. Walter, don't forget to make the stuffed peppers. Yeah, stuff those peppers, Walter. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Have good for the Canadians. Enjoy your long weekend. And for the Americans, whatever's happening in your life, I hope it's good. And we'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.